I think so. Okay, now we are live. With AfterCol, the only exclusive BBCOL7 after show, and I'm here to bring some fireworks, have some hot takes, and find out what's kicking in the BB Columbus house. And so, without further ado, I'd like to introduce our guest for today. She came into the house kick with a kabang, and unfortunately, things tended to turn around in a weird, freaky way. But we're gonna find out what happened. So, welcome, Rachel. How are you doing?
I'm good.
What went wrong here? Because it seemed like you were really well. You were insulated a little bit in the Girls Alliance. Ewok was out of the house. Like, what happened?
Um, I don't know. I don't think that I really knew what I was doing, and I don't think that I formed enough alliances with people. I feel like I just kept the girls' alliance, and that was about it, really. I talked to other people too, but I wasn't like strategic in any way because I've never even seen Big Brother.
Yes,
So,
yes, you've never seen it before. So what got you into the show? I think Tim was asking. No, yeah, Tim was asking. You never saw it. What interested you in playing it in the first place?
Joey, part of production, I worked with him, and he said that I should audition, so I did.
Well, yeah. Well, we're glad you did. And so this round started off pretty crazy. We had just done. Ewok was just evicted, and we have a buyback happening. What was your take when you found out about the buyback? What were you feeling at the time?
Uh, Apprehensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you wanted Nikki to come back, and what were your thoughts about Ewok and Robert potentially coming back in the game?
I don't know. I didn't really ever click with either one of them. Like, in the first episode, when everybody was trying to kind of like find their footing um, with everybody, I know that Ewok was a little bitter about the fact that he got me off the chopping block or whatever, and then like I put my vote to Tamika, but that wasn't really against him. I just was also finding my footing.
Yeah, yeah. And we have that vote. It was one vote for Robert to come back in by Jack. What do you think about Jack trying to just throw votes wherever they went?
I
I
think
think
it
it.
actually was, I don't know. He kind of like so far has stayed like pretty anonymous with everybody.
Yeah,
He
you had a
seems like
confession. Oh, sorry.
what? No, go on.
You had a confessional at some point in the episode saying kind of what people do with their votes, saying that even if people say they're going to vote one way, it seems like people are being really flippant once they get to the diary room.
Yeah,
Um,
Jack just like he didn't really care.
yeah, did you think he was part of the Girls Alliance?
um, I never really thought he was part of the Girls Alliance. I thought that he was like really friendly and like we had a cool bond. I think he had a cool bond with pretty much everybody though, so I
Hmm.
think he's just like kind of a social person and he was just doing really well in that manner.
Yeah, yeah. And so he votes for Robert. You and Justine and Jenna all vote for Nikki to come back. Was that a coordinated vote? And did you think that there was more support for Nikki?
Um, I honestly don't really remember how much support I did or didn't think that Nikki had. I just really liked her.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted her to come back because I thought it could be fun.
Okay, because it might appear that like the Girls Alliance had you and your allies had just arranged to make that happen, but it wasn't super clear from the episode.
I think that maybe we talked about it a little bit, but it was never like, we have to do this.
Um, wait, Justine is complaining that we can't see her name, and we want to make sure Justine knows that we do stan her. Um, so Ame at this point, she is like covering her tracks. She voted out Ewok, regretted it, and now is trying to get him back in the game, which I think is really messy. What did you think of Ame at this point? Because you thought she was
Part of the Girls
part of the
Alliance.
Girls Alliance, and
Yeah.
then did you still think she was at this point?
Yeah, because I wouldn't have given my points to her if I didn't think that she was part of the Girls Alliance.
Yeah, and you gave your points to all of the girls except for Taimika, if I remember right.
Yeah, because
Um,
we just like never talked. I like never really had a conversation with her at any point.
yeah, so you were just all girl power all the way once you were evicted.
Yeah.
That's totally fair. Okay, so Ewok comes back in, um, and this is a random aside. Are you pissed at oatmeal or Quaker? You asked Ame that. Are you pissed at oatmeal or Quaker? What was that about?
Because she was talking about how she hates oatmeal, but like specifically Quaker, and like I don't really remember the details, but I was just being stupid and funny. I was like,
So which side are you on? Are you more oatmeal or more Quaker?
I like oatmeal. I'm not super picky.
I feel like I'm on Quaker side.
It's
You
about
can't go
it's
away
about the
from the.
toppings. It's about like how you cook it, not what brand it is.
Well, what's your oatmeal flavor that you normally would eat?
I got steel cut oats with brown sugar, some like vanilla, like almond milk or oat milk, and then like some blueberries.
I mean that sounds great. But I'm going for dinosaur eggs if I have any choice in the matter. So then we go to the casino floor. Okay, and mind you, this first night, what time was it that we were actually ending the night?
I was so dead. Oh my God. Like 3 a.m.
Maybe four.
Yeah.
But what was it like to be that exhausted and to know that you are only done with day one?
Oh gosh, I just couldn't think about anything. I just wanted to go to bed. That last challenge or whatever, and then when they brought everybody back, I really was just like so uninterested because all I wanted to do was go to sleep. I was just like, I don't care. Like, bring back whoever. I just don't care. I just want to go to bed.
Like let's just vote so we can get it over
I
with.
I know like it wasn't really that noticeable, but I was watching myself in that episode and I was just like, wow, I'm really tired.
So I don't think this is talked about at all in the show, but what were the sleeping arrangements like? Who was your bunk mate for the first night?
It was Matt.
Matt.
Yeah.
You know,
So we like threw down.
whoever sleeps together aligns together.
Shut up. So we threw down like a couple air mattresses, and then like people like were just like claiming their territory, I guess. And it was kind of like the alliances where like everybody had aligned to sleep together. And so next thing I sleep in the chair, I guess, because I had nowhere to sleep. And then everybody was like, "No, it's fine. Just go sleep with Matt. He's on the air mattress in there." I was like peer pressured into it. I was
What
I was fully ready to sleep on the chair.
was there any chance of a showman's happening?
No.
Okay. Because I know he put you up in the first round, and we're gonna get back to this. Don't worry, we're gonna get back to Matt putting you up in the first round. But he put you up largely because he thought he was attracted to you, and he was scared of what you would do.
What?
Yeah. He wanted to target the pretty girls because that was he thought his perceived weakness in the game. Um,
That's so annoying.
yeah. So we get to the casino floor. We will come back to that Matt thing. We get to the casino floor, and there are four games available. There's dice, there's cards, roulette, and there's the marble game. What game did you play?
Oh gosh, I think I played dice.
Yeah. And how did you do on that? You won a little bit, right?
I did. I think I won like 20 points or something.
Okay.
Maybe 15. I don't know. It wasn't like a lot, but I didn't like strike out.
Um,
It just seemed like the easiest game to play.
yeah. When in looking at the points, I mean, think somebody in the chat said it during the episode that dice definitely had the best probability. Roulette had the worst probability as far as the chance games go, and that marble game was near impossible for anyone who had never done it before. So there was no chance, I don't think, of anybody doing that. Um, Jack came away with the most points with 70. What was it like with those after the casino floor? What was it like to have those conversations about everyone kind of lying about their points? What did you perceive as like your point strategy and what other people were doing?
I didn't have a strategy. There was no strategy. So I pretty much I didn't really care at that point because I was having trouble keeping track of my own points and what everybody else was saying. I just didn't really care.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean,
I
who
of
knows?
course, yeah, I of course cared about like the game itself, but like the minor details weren't as important.
Yeah. Matt said that he played roulette, and I assumed he was a liar because that was the worst game. So of course he must have been lying because only idiots would play roulette.
Well, we all know.
It turns out he played roulette. I thought he was a liar, not an idiot. But
But it turns out he's an idiot.
he's an idiot. Hashtag
Drag
drag
Matt.
Matt. Okay, so we get to the HOH Cup, and it is Crystal and versus Nomi. Who had the better outfit, Crystal or Nomi?
I don't remember which one was which.
Crystal, I think, was the one with the bullet vest, and Nomi, and the gauntlet in the wrist, and Nomi had the feathers, maybe.
Who had the blue?
Oh, I don't know. I sucked at this competition. And once I knew like it wasn't my comp to win, I was like, I'm throwing it so I don't get any points.
I don't know. Probably the one with the bullet vest thing.
Yeah, because you were wearing that afterwards.
Yeah, that was like I stole that.
That was pretty iconic. Do you still have the bullet vest?
No,
Oh,
I left it
you
when
had
I like got voted off.
so you had that and the yellow bandana. There were some interesting fashion choices. Trevor was wearing a bow on his head. Um, we saw later in the round, which was interesting. Good. Trevor has. What do you think of Trevor's t-shirts? He has the possum t-shirts.
Yeah, I think that those are iconic. He
Yeah.
did a really good job of choosing his t-shirts for those.
Yeah.
And I think he chose them specifically for this.
I. You have to imagine so, right? Um. Okay, so Ewok wins the HOH. What was your once Ewok wins, what are you thinking at this point? Because you had just voted him out, and what did you try to do to get out of the situation?
Nothing really. Again, I just like no strategy. I was having a hard time figuring out like cuz I'm I just didn't know what I was doing and I'm a really honest person. So like everything that you heard from me, like the entirety of the game was like just me
Just face
being
value.
there to let face value to make friends and have a good time. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I know that other people were like playing a game, and I get that, but it still kind of hurt my feelings.
yeah. Well, and I think there was a kind of perception that you were playing really hard, actually, somehow. Where do you think that perception may have come from?
I don't know.
Hmm.
That's all that I have. I
Yeah.
don't know
But this
because I
game,
wasn't.
yeah, and this game does get really personal.
It does, and I wasn't expecting it to be so personal. But like when I got voted off, I was actually surprised at how well I hit it. But I just it hurt so bad.
Yeah, who were you?
Just like watching it, I wanted to cry again. But I was trying so hard not to cry, and I think I did a really good job.
You did, and everyone loves you, so don't worry. It's just a game in the real sense of the world. It can be really hard to get voted out, and I'm sure I'm sure it took a while to get past that because every time I played one of these games, it takes me a couple months to really get over get over the game. Um,
Yeah.
and
I didn't go to the other house. I just like went home.
yeah,
I was like, I don't want to talk to anybody.
yeah,
And I stayed home like the whole weekend. I mean, of course I did my own thing, which is nice that I live in Columbus. If I didn't live in Columbus, I probably still would have just like avoided the house at all costs, gone to a
hmm
coffee shop or something.
hmm
And then I almost didn't go to the finale. And I actually did skip out during the actual finale and then came back later because I was just too upset. My friend and I went and got dinner.
hey, you gotta do self care, especially with a game that's this intense. I don't think people see the the kind of paranoia and intensity and realness that happens in these games just because they're, you know, maybe on video, maybe happen really quickly. Um, and but even within a weekend, you can get super close to people and feel, you know, very betrayed. Um, so who did you feel most betrayed by, um,
um,
going out of the house?
at the time, I was just like shocked at the number of people that wanted me out. And that's what I really took so personally because it was just like 6-3. And I was just like, I thought that people just like liked me as a person more than that.
Yeah,
But, and again, I get it's a game, but I just wasn't playing it that way because I didn't come to like have this master like plan.
yeah, and you had never seen Big Brother before. You're coming in with a completely different perspective than basically anybody else in the house. Um,
Yeah.
So we have the prize counter. Did you? Somebody asked. Tim asked. Did you have any items that you were interested in buying from the prize counter?
I liked the idea of the bigger items, but it was a lot to process. So it was just kind of like easier to just kind of stay away from it almost
Yeah.
because I just like it was a lot to think about.
Trevor got the veto viewer. Do you think that was the right choice?
It could have been for a different comp. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think that was the right comp because that wasn't like that had no strategy to it. That was just like pure luck and like physical movement.
Yeah, well, I get his reasoning. Like he wants to just do something because it's not the trajectory he's on isn't
Yeah.
working. So like, you know, if it's
And
broke,
how was he supposed to know that? That was just like unlucky for him.
yeah, I think maybe the way to use a veto viewer is if your like alliance members are targeting a certain person and you need to know whether you should backdoor them or put them up front. I think that would probably be a really good use of it, but I don't. I feel like it's so conditional. Um,
It is. Yeah, I think like maybe the veto comp ticket that Ame ended up purchasing like super early in the game would have been cool just to like participate. But I did get to participate in a lot of things
yeah,
before.
yeah. You played in a number of veto competitions, and this one, which was but first after you and Justine were nominated. Did you know you were going on the block?
Um, like I said in the diary room, I had a hunch because I felt like Ewok was kind of just like gunning for the Girls Alliance in general.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think the only thing that I knew at the time is I had a feeling that he was, you know, under the impression that the Girls Alliance voted for Nikki to get back in and not him, and he would have been upset about that and trying to get like one of the girls out to like break that up, because it wasn't working out in his favor. So
Yeah.
I figured that would probably be one of his moves, but I didn't realize that like I was just like the devil to him or something. Not the devil, but I really struck a chord with him by not reciprocating something that he had given me without even striking an alliance in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Like we didn't have any conversation. Like I don't know. It wasn't like implied really, I guess. it was just kind of like, who was he going to vote for? Because again, first round, no one really knows anything about anybody. Alliances are just forming. Throw this out there, like, yeah, I'll use it on somebody. I don't know. It wasn't personal.
Yeah, but maybe there was something to do there of saying, hey, we have this connection now. We might as well, um, like,
Yeah,
maximize that.
I think that Ewok was definitely my personal downfall.
Yeah, yeah.
Although,
It,
yeah.
it sure seems like, I mean, he really he went from saving you with the veto to nominating you and getting you out of the house, just a couple rounds later. Which that just always puzzled me in the game was how did that turn around? It seemed like you two would have been natural allies after that first round.
Yeah. But then that goes back to just like me not knowing what I was doing.
No one knows what
Forming
you're doing.
alliances. Well, no, not even like I just didn't even know to form alliances. I didn't
Oh.
even know to like do that with multiple different people. I just didn't know.
So we have the veto competition. Justine chose. Let's see who selected. We have Ame selected to play, and Justine chooses Jack to play, and Jenna's on there as well. What do you think of Justine's choice of choosing Jack? Do you think Jack was the right choice for her?
Yeah, I do really like Jack. I think he's like a little stupid and a little funny like in the games just cuz he keeps throwing them, but he has like a really good sense of humor and I think he definitely had a good strategy, but it was just like fun.
Strategy being just shovel all the cigarettes into Jenna's hands. Jenna, she's just like a magnet for cigarettes. What can you say?
And then Jack comes out with like two half cigarettes.
It's like, what are you doing the whole time, Jack?
Well, Jenna took them all.
Well, then there's Ame who had like one or something, right? Like she had, I don't know what she was doing either in the
He had like
competition.
5 minutes. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I don't know if she was throwing it. But Jenna says she wins the veto. And she says that obviously she stand Justine so much that she used the veto on her. But she says that she wanted to marry you. Were there marriage proposal plans between you and Jenna?
Yeah,
What was
just for kicks and
were
giggles.
y'all gonna elope since you were already in Vegas in the BBCOL7?
Yeah, that was the plan.
And so Ewok nominates Trevor, and he says he hasn't been backdoored this much since the Bear Convention. I don't know if there's any. Do you have any comments on that? Rachel, who was your closest ally?
Probably Jenna and Justine.
If you had to pick a final two out of your allies, who would your final two have been? Question from Sabrina.
Jenna and Justine.
Just both of them.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably maybe Jenna.
Yeah, it's hard to it's like you can barely really choose at that point, or there's no point in choosing.
Yeah, at that point, I just like really liked the majority of the girls. So top three: Sabrina, Jenna, and Justine. If I had to pick one, it'd probably be Jenna.
Yeah. Were you so y'all were a throuple in the house?
I guess.
Um.
Towards the end, Sabrina and I started having really great conversation, like outside of the game. So that was really disappointing.
Yeah. In the eviction speeches, Trevor said that he tolerates some of us, some of the cast. Who did you tolerate in the house?
Oh my gosh. You. And Matt. You and Matt.
We were just tolerated all.
I really was gunning for Matt like that whole time. No one really got that though.
And I was right after that.
Yeah. But you made a point to pull me aside like that last I think it was this past episode.
Mm-hmm.
And you were just like, "Hey, we haven't really had a chance to talk, and I just really wanted to like get to know you better."
Yeah, I try to do that with everybody.
I know. It was nice of you.
Especially
I
people who are
disliked you less then.
especially people who are on the block. It's just like let's just check in and clear air or something. Um,
Yeah.
so okay, yeah. If you had won the HOH instead of Ewok, who would you have put up?
Mm, instead of my son. Wait,
Yeah. So if Ewok had if you won the HOH instead of Ewok, who would your nominations have been?
probably Ame and Ewok.
Oh man, Ewok. Okay. With Matt as a backdoor target potentially.
Oh yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
um,
I don't know if it would have been Ame then, really. At that point, I knew that Ewok was kind of gunning for me, so I probably would have put him up. It might have been Matt. I just know from like
maybe Matt and
watching
Ewok.
that Ame didn't like me very much.
Yeah.
So,
So we get to the vote, and were you surprised by any of the votes?
for voting me off,
Yeah.
yes.
Or not
Like I
voting.
said,
Maybe someone who voted on your side.
uh,
Nate voted to keep you.
yeah, and I love him.
um,
uh, I was happy that like Justine and Jenna actually like stood by their word. That was nice.
yeah.
Because I actually had a hunch that maybe they didn't.
Mm.
So,
Sabrina had a big switch this episode. The last couple episodes, she voted with the Girls Alliance, and then at the
mhm.
comeback, she voted Ewok, and then in this vote, she voted against you. So it seemed like she made a big switch since the last couple rounds. Um,
Yeah,
did
I
you
don't,
know where Sabrina stood through all this?
not really. I mean, I know that she was like with the Girls Alliance or whatever, but she was way more out there than like I knew Jenna and Justine were with me for sure.
Yeah.
But I didn't really know what Sabrina was doing. I did think that she voted for me, but obviously she didn't.
Yeah. The interesting moment during the voting confessionals, Jack brings Cheez-Its with him to vote. Um, and is it because his diaries are so long that he needs a snack partway through? Or was he doing something else? What was Jack doing with the Cheez-Its?
Jack needs a lot of nutrients. He's just
He's a
he's too
growing boy?
tall and he's too skinny and he's a growing boy.
He's not through puberty yet.
Right. He goes to bed at 8 p.m. He's on a strict schedule. He still is at home.
Oh. So you predicted Matt to be the winner. Was your but Matt had a question for you. He was wondering what you've been up to post Big Brother Columbus.
Um, Nothing really. I was a server when I did that, the Big Brother Columbus. I'm
And
no longer a
and now what's
server.
your job?
Um, I'm a nurse at Alter Care in Hilliard.
Woo.
Woo!
Yay nursing. Uh,
Yay. It's week 2. I'm still terrified. I'm
I'm sure you're doing great. Uh,
terrified.
so back to that first round. What was the deal with Matt nominating you? And like what happened there?
I forgot about that. I forgot that he nominated me first round because I was more focused on fourth round,
Yeah.
this last one. So when I watched it recently, I called him out and I was like, fuck you, you little bitch.
Have y'all managed to patch things up?
After like this past 2 days of like me like going back through and then this tonight and him not voting for me, he's dead to me.
He said.
He's dead to me.
um, okay, I got some more questions from the viewers. Tim asked, "What was your favorite competition that you played in?"
Oh, I really like the kicking one.
The kicking one, yeah, the kick heard around the world. What? So do you do kickboxing or do you like what's your technique? Is it yoga? Like what's your strategy? How do you kick so amazingly?
I don't know. I'm a runner. I'm a fairly athletic person. I don't know. I did ballet for like 13 years.
That's a help for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I
Uh,
like open things with my like legs and stuff. I use them way more than normal people. You know, like doors and stuff, not like containers.
okay. Yeah, this is. I mean, I don't think there's a rating on this, but I mean, it's not like the show is censored. Okay. And Jason, Jason, um, Rachel. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Steve's pillow's falling down. Okay. 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 Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Jason has a question. Oh, we're the. Okay, did you expect to have such a huge fan base? Like all the ransoms who stumble, like all the randoms who stumble upon
No,
the show who obsess over you?
no.
What is your fame? What has it been like with your life being famous now?
I just like to deny it. I'm just like, people don't like me that much.
What would you do differently if you could go back in time?
I would form way more alliances. Um, I would pull Jenna aside and tell her that we needed to chill out because I could see that just like us talking about like, you know, getting married, and it was more of a joke to us, but other people were getting really like, they were like, "Oh my gosh, like they're together and like an alliance like this." And so then it kind of like singled us out a little bit
Yeah.
when it really wasn't. It wasn't so much like that, you know? And I I don't know, I would have played multiple angles, I
Would
guess.
you play again if given the opportunity?
Maybe.
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 Okay. Well, we would love to see you. I know you got fans out there. Um, let's see what other questions. Okay. From Wade, um, rank the rest of the cast from highest to lowest. Who do you think is playing the best? Oh, so who do you think is playing the best right now? I don't think we're gonna go through ranking everybody, but who do you think is playing well at this point in the game, and who do you think is not playing well?
Um I just I think that shoot, hold on one second. I think that Sabrina and Matt and Ame and Ewok are playing pretty good. And Jack. Jack just has that like weird strategy where he just like stays out of everybody's way and he's everyone's friend. And I think
Hmm.
it's working well for him.
Yeah, I mean, no one has really said his name yet.
hmm Um, I think they're definitely the strongest players. Although Ame is really starting to get on my nerves with how much she's like switching.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, I think that Trevor could be doing better. I think that mm, Jenna and Justine and I were just like, especially me and Jenna, we just weren't reading people very well. And I think that like in terms of like strategy and stuff, it was great, but we weren't catching people on like their lies and stuff like that. I think Ame was really good at like reading the situation, which is why she got as far as you know.
Yeah, I think Ame is an interesting case because, like, on one hand, she's playing aggressively, but on the other hand, she's backpedaling. She's been backpedaling the last two rounds.
hmm
And that's really dangerous to say that, like, to be like, she kind of betrayed Ewok to his face when in the veto competition. Um, and that was all part of backpedaling because she had voted um, against the Girls Alliance and she was trying to cover her vote, and now she's trying to cover her vote and playing against Ewok, and she's backpedaling that. It's like she's trying to just fix mistake after mistake, and it's causing her to cause more to do more mistakes
hmm
almost. Um, and she hasn't really been caught with it, but it's um, it seems dangerous territory.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know yet, but
Yeah, we'll just have to see.
yeah.
You never know.
Nate, I felt like
Yeah, what do you think of Nate's game?
I love him so much as just like a whole human.
He voted to keep you. Did you
I know.
expect that?
I don't know if I like expected anything, but it was nice. But I love him. I really just like I think like our as people we clicked very well. And I think that he definitely kind of got shit on with when he was HOH
Mm-hmm.
with the whole thing. Um
Yeah,
and I think
but
that
I don't know. He like nominated people without giving reasons,
it
and
was
which
yeah, no, I think that he was trying to like play like close to the chest and he didn't do it very well.
yeah,
Because everyone was being fairly open with each other. Even if they were lying, they were still giving some sort of information, and he was just offering nothing. And I don't think people knew what to do with that.
yeah. Well, I mean, in this game, it's a lot about perception, but it's also like how you make people feel.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't do a good job of making his potential allies and his enemies feel good about him. And uh, if you're not making those people feel good, then you're just creating enemies.
Right. And I think a lot of people are just confused.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
and that's part of like you can comfort people if you give a reason or some kind of portrayal of what your angle is in the game.
mm-hmm.
But
And
if you
it's
don't
funny
give
because he
anything,
definitely had an angle. He wanted Matt out.
yeah, yeah, but he also didn't express that to like the nominees necessarily, uh, or to any other people who should have probably been privy to that information. Like he probably should have clued a few people in to what his actual plans were.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, granted, it's two sides of the same coin. He did that, but on Matt's HOH, he was like, "Let me just say everybody's names and also and give all the reasons," and that wasn't really great either. um, so that's all the questions I have. Thank you so much for joining me for AfterCol. Um, where can people follow you on social media?
Oh gosh. My Instagram is rhowell HOWELL 456. That's
Wonderful.
it. That's the only thing that I use.
Awesome. And you can find me at Nathan Tyler Sings on all the social media. Follow me, subscribe, or whatever. We got After Call happen every week. We have been working on the schedule for the show, and it looks like things are going to be happening every week with the show. So I'm super excited to continue to bring guests and some tea, some after tea to y'all. But Rachel, thank you so much. This has been super fun.
I'm glad.
I hope it's been as fun for you as it has been for me and for everybody
It
in the chat.
was. I didn't actually cry.
Oh, yeah, you've been
I,
great. Okay.
thank you.
Anyway, I hope you have a good night. It's great to see you. Take care.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.